What's up, YouTube? You already know who it is, man. It's your boy Muhammad, and you are tuned in live to Mali Fitness. And in today's video, I wanted to talk to you guys about something that's very dear and important to me, and that's how I became Muslim. As you may or may not know, this is a fitness channel where we talk about bodybuilding, where we talk about health, where we talk about exercise and workouts. But I figured I would connect with my subscribers on a different level. So here I am trying to share my story with you guys. So if you may or may not know, I'm half Iranian, half white. So half Persian, half white, right? So my mother is Christian, my father is Muslim. So growing up in my household, I was never pressured to follow any one particular faith, never dragged around to a church or to a mosque or anywhere else, etc. However, I would see my father pray. I don't know if you're familiar with the Islamic faith or not, but you know, they get on the ground, put their head on the ground, etc. So anyways, I would say around high school, we got a computer, right? And really, to be honest with you, my parents didn't really use it, so I was the only one. So I would go on there, and for some reason, I just started looking up religion. I don't know, I had this inclination within me to start researching different religions, literally just Googling stuff, right? Going on different websites and looking at different, you know, explanations about what religions have to say about life, you know, and thoughts about the afterlife and the beliefs and the whole 9 yards. So basically, I was at a point in my life, in my teenage years, where I started to think about these existential questions that a lot of us have. You know, why are we here? What are we doing? Is life all about just waking up and doing the same old thing and eating breakfast and going to school or going to work until one day you just die, and in the meanwhile just collect as much money as possible, have as much fun as possible, and just rinse and repeat, you know, until you die? And then basically other humans are going to come into this world and do the same thing, and people before you were doing the same thing. Is that it? I mean, look at the clouds, look at the stars, look at the ocean. Imagine all the fish down there. Look at, you know, everything. The mountains. So I was like, man, I just can't believe that. There's got to be a purpose. There's got to be a reason behind these things. There's got to be something out there, some meaning. Because it was just so depressing to think that it was all meaningless, right? So that whole thought process of mine put me on this search to find out what the truth is, what I believe in. So on this computer, I'm looking up Hinduism, I'm looking up Buddhism, I'm looking up different ideologies like Taoism, and I'm also looking at stuff like atheism, agnosticism, Christianity, Judaism, Islam, all sorts of things. Some things I probably can't even recall. I mean, I was looking up all sorts of things, right? And the thing that kept sticking out to me was Islam. Because first of all, I came to the conclusion that I did believe in a creator, right? So this is based off faith and based off of answering questions from my heart, you know, finding the answers to the questions that I have from my heart and asking myself, do you believe this? Do you believe that? And I said, well, I do believe that there is a higher power, right? But then I have to find out the details. Do I believe that there are multiple? Like a polytheist? No. So I believe there was only one, right? There's only one creator. So that led me to the Abrahamic faiths, right? Like Judaism, like Christianity, like Islam. Now, a lot of y'all might think, well, your name's Muhammad, you're half Persian, so automatically you should become a Muslim, right? No. I've never been pressured into something. I've never been told I had to be Muslim. I'm not one of those people that were cultural Muslims that were just praying just to pray because their family would, and they'd go to the mosque on Fridays. I'm not one of those. You know, I've never been in that situation. So here I am looking at Christianity, Judaism, and Islam. And Islam just stuck out to me because the focus and the emphasis on one God, also the belief in an afterlife, heaven or hell. I really do believe inside of myself that a person will be rewarded or punished depending on their performance in this life. This is just something that I believe. And so that stuck with me. Another thing is, I believed in one monotheistic God and not worshiping anything besides that God. So that really narrowed down Islam and Judaism. The thing about it is that I really, really, really believe that God wouldn't just leave us hanging, and he would send prophets or messengers or somebody to show us how to perform properly to the best of our capabilities and abilities. So when I looked at the different faiths, I found that Islam, not only did we believe in, all the prophets like that are in Christianity and Judaism, we also had the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him and peace be upon them all. So I was like, okay, well, this is the one that has Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, that the others don't. So I want to see what he has to say. And that's where I got into looking into the religious books like the Bible, the Torah, the Quran. I'm like, oh, I read the Quran. I'm like, wow. So God communicated through the angel Gabriel, through like revelation, to the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. And this is the message. This is the message that God communicated and that the Prophet, peace be upon him, shared with us. And reading that book was just so profound to me. It literally answered questions that I wasn't even considering, that wasn't even in my awareness, that wasn't even in my consciousness. And then it also answered questions that I had been thinking about myself prior to even reading the book. And I kid you not, a lot of people will come up on here and tell you stories to reinforce, like what they want to believe. It's like a confirmation bias. Like, you want to believe something, so you'll just look around and try to find anything that already supports your beliefs, and then you'll say, hey, look, you'll bring it up and put a flashlight on it and stuff like that and hype it up for everybody else. But I'm telling you guys, like, for example, one of the things that I used to think about when I was younger was, so if I'm gonna die one day, right, and I'm basically, gonna turn into dirt or dust over time, how bodies decompose, how am I gonna be brought up back to life if there's an afterlife? Like, I can't comprehend these things. And the Quran answers that. And that's something I was like, what? Whoa, like, it answers that? That's crazy. I've been thinking about that so much. All these questions. And the more and more that I thought about it, the more and more I was like, yep, this is the one for me. So I started learning how to pray. This is around later high school time. This spanned a couple of years of researching. So I started learning how to pray, started learning how to fast for the month of Ramadan, started keeping up with reading the Quran. And really, guys, what attracted me to Islam over Christianity and Judaism, and I don't mean no disrespect, a lot of my followers are Christian. I love you guys. A lot of my followers are maybe Jewish. I love you guys. A lot of my followers maybe don't have a religion. I love you guys. This is not about who's better and who's not better. This is not about arguing about who's right and who's wrong. This isn't about any of that. This is about how my story, about how I came to my conclusion. You might have a different story where you came to a different conclusion, right? So we all come to different conclusions. I mean, this is a diet channel. Some of us like being pescatarian. Some of us can't stand pescatarianism. Some of us are vegan. Some of us are, people who just intermittent fast and do whatever in between. Some of us are just clean eaters all the way around. We're all different. That's what makes the world beautiful. But what really attracted me to Islam over the other Abrahamic faiths was that, first off, in regards to Christianity, in Islam, our belief is that Jesus was a messenger of God, but he was not on the same level of God or the Son of God or God incarnate, meaning God in the flesh, nothing like that, but a prophet of God, like Abraham, like Noah, like all the other prophets. So, you know, he came here to guide his people. So that I was like, yeah, I believe that. You know, I don't believe Jesus or any of the other ones were divine or partners with God or somebody that I should be worshiping or clasping my hands and closing my eyes and praying to. I don't believe that. But if you tell me he was a prophet, I'll believe it, because that's just what's already inside of me. That's what's inside my heart. You know, I believe that God would send very righteous people to come guide us, but I don't believe that they should be the object of worship. So that aligned with my belief system. And then to top it off, with Judaism, I know maybe in the past Judaism had more of a belief in the concept of heaven or hell, but over time modern Judaism has shied a little bit away from that concept, and so now there isn't so much talk about especially hell. I guess it might still be a thought that exists, but it depends who you speak to. But I found that in Islam, the afterlife was really a topic of discussion, was really had a lot of details, and it's really emphasized. You know, the belief in the afterlife is a huge component of Islam that I didn't find was so strong in Judaism. Another thing was, after having read the Quran, I totally believed that Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, was a messenger of God, and there was no way I could go to, I'm trying to get the lighting in here, there was no way that I could, go to a faith that didn't have him as a messenger of God, because at this point, I already believed it wholeheartedly. And another thing was, I don't think God would choose, any one particular group of people, over everybody else to be saved, and everybody else is going to be condemned or damned or something like that. Like, I really believe, God would send a message to all of humanity. It's all fair, everybody has a chance of receiving God's mercy and stuff like that. So I really, really, really resonated with that idea, and when I read about it in Islam, I was like, yeah, that's for me. So hold up, let me pause this and see if I can get some better lighting. Give me 1 second, man. All right, guys, I turned my car around. Now I got some better lighting. Okay, so basically that's how I came to Islam. So I started believing in Islam and stuff like that. Okay, so although I was believing in Islam, I was still misguided in that I wasn't following it properly. I wasn't praying all the time, and I wasn't fasting how I should have been for the month of Ramadan, and I just wasn't reading the Quran as much as I should have been, etc. I was still young and careless and just doing whatever. But it was always on my mind and in my heart. And so fast forward a couple of years, I'm in graduate school. I moved to a city where, I met a whole bunch of people from all different sorts of races, cultures, ethnicities, religions. Where I'm from, my hometown is predominantly Hispanic, right? So I was already very familiar with Catholicism and Christianity and the Hispanic culture, right? So I was very, very, very comfortable with the Hispanic culture. All my friends are Hispanic. I love it, man. It's like home to me, you know what I mean? So I came over here, and it's like, I saw all sorts of people that, cultures I wasn't used to, mannerisms, etc. If you haven't traveled, if you live in a place like New York, you're gonna be like, what's this dude talking about? But if you're from a small place and you go somewhere else that's a big place, you might experience what I'm talking about. So met people from all over, and basically I met a couple of friends who are Middle Eastern. One of which was like going to a mosque, and he was like, "You want to go to the mosque?" And although I had been to a mosque when I was younger, I never really went because like I was gonna go pray or something. It was always like, because remember how I told you my dad's Muslim, and you know he would go to the mosque for like an event or something, or sometimes on Friday, and I'll be like, I want to go because I want to get out of the house, you know, and I'll go hang out outside and go play or something when I was younger, you know. So I never really gone to go. So my friend took me one time, and I vibed with it. I liked the sermon. I liked everything. It was good, man. Touched the soul. It's like charging the batteries for the week, you know. I was good the whole week after that, you know what I mean? So eventually, you know, I moved on, he moved on, you know, graduated, everybody goes back to their own town, whatever. But I'm still here. And I kept on going. I just kept on going every Friday. And the more I go to the mosque, the better I got. I started learning how to pray. I started learning how to fast properly. I started learning more about the fundamentals of my own faith. Started getting more into it. And that's where I'm at today, man. I'm 28 years old. I've been practicing Islam for a couple of years now. I wouldn't say perfectly. In no way am I perfect. Please, man. I wish, but no, I'm not perfect. You know, it's been a struggle, but it's been a struggle that's worth having. I love it. I wouldn't have my life any other way. And I consider myself extremely blessed because this is something that I have found that nothing in this planet could have had done for me as far as happiness for my soul and for my system. In that, no amount of money, no amount of fame or YouTube views, no amount of business, no amount of anything could have made me feel inside how I feel, like I feel with my faith, and how I feel when I go there on Friday. You know, it's just what it is, man. So with that said, a big part of my journey now that I've thought about all these questions that I've been having is how I want to spend my time in this life, because to us Muslims that's important. How do you want to spend your time in this life? Well, there's a lot of beneficial things that we all can do. One of the things that I want to do is use my time to help others in weight loss, in fitness, in dieting, in getting a better physique, in building up muscle, in losing fat, making people healthier, making people motivated. I always like to say, like, as a macro coach or as a fitness coach, a lot of times the person may already know what to do. So what's the purpose, or what's the necessity of a macro or a fitness coach? It's just to motivate you. Some of you guys may already know what to do, but you need that guidance, and you need that motivation, and you need that check-in, and you need that kickstart. You know what I mean? That extra jolt of energy. And that's what I want to be to you guys. I want to be motivation to you guys. I want to bring you guys that energy every single week. And I also want to help you guys who really need guidance on what to do and how to do it, to get started with your diet, whether that be to cut, to trim weight, to trim fat, to get in shape, to get fit so you can play with your children, whether that be to bulk up. Maybe you're very skinny and you need to put on that frame, put on that muscle. And so I would love to help you guys to do that. And that's how I want to get back. So with that said, much love to you. Thank you guys for tuning into my video. I really hope you vibe with it and enjoy it. If you haven't already, please go ahead and click that subscribe button. It's at the bottom of the screen. I would really appreciate it. And thank you guys for taking the time to hear your boy out. And be on the lookout for more fitness videos, man. I got full day of eating videos coming. I got workout videos coming, circuit workout videos coming, weightlifting videos coming, all sorts of workout videos coming. So much love to you. It's your boy Muhammad here at Mally Fitness, and see you guys in the next video. Peace.